All right, we're live. Go ahead.
I can't like...
Do whatever you want to do. Yeah, there's a lot of grass on this field here. They should really clear out a lot of the grass because before it was more dirt than grass. So it's very difficult for a rear-wheel drive car to go up some of these grassy kinds of inclines here.
It's like...
There we go. Cool. Yeah, you can go backwards with no problems, right? Because you're acting as four-wheel drive when, you're acting as front-wheel drive when you're going backwards. But yeah, anybody who's thinking about getting a Traxxas Rustler and trying to do like dirt roads like this with some grass on them, it's probably better to get the all-wheel drive version, but this is pretty fun too. No doubt, this is pretty fun. You've got a lot more skidding and drifting action here. We don't have a lot of experience with these kinds of remote-controlled cars. We usually do mini four-wheel drive cars. There you go. That's it. The Rustler, a rear-wheel drive entry vehicle. It only goes at 35 miles per hour, but you can upgrade it and make it go much faster.
25.
Yeah. And this is a little track at RC Car World, Cinnaminson, New Jersey, where you could test out your cars for just $5 an hour. I don't know if they would have races here. Maybe they do have races here. But if the track is all the same the whole time, then this is just a test track.
So, it just goes in one direction.
So what do you think? Is it fun?
It's like not, it is censored, but...
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So this Rustler has lights in the front, right? Like there's supposed to be lights built into it. There we go. Cool.
Eric, you want to see the lights? See the lights?
Yes. Let's take a look at the lights here. Check them out. They're in the front there. Yes. Do you think it's a very responsive car?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we changed the wheels, right? We changed the tires, that is,
Yeah.
right? So these are not the stock tires. The stock tires don't have treads like this. They're much flatter. So this is supposed to be more suitable for this kind of off-roading kind of action. And yeah, pretty cool. There's some grassy fields out there and some sort of a stone pile rubble thing in the back. All of the major RC car companies are all represented here on these little flags. Pretty cool. Yeah, $5 an hour. Pretty cool. Yeah, this is one of the very few live videos we have on this channel. I figure that maybe there's a demand for something like this for live video. And what we're going to try to do for our mini four-wheel drive races, we're also going to try to make live videos of those too. For all of those who want to basically like be where the action's at. Because I think that's important, right? A lot of you see videos of me like putting together cars and describing events and stuff like that. But I think some of you might want to actually see the actual events. You can see what goes on at one of these mini four-wheel drive races. And here, I don't know, maybe a lot more of you are familiar with RC cars than mini four-wheel drive. So this might not be as interesting, or it might be. Yep, go ahead, little rear-wheel drive car. Yes. I think this is the most fun you can have for $5, right? Yes, if you want to skid and drift and everything like that, this is a great car for that. Oh, there are lights in the back too. Little red lights. White lights in the front, red lights in the rear. Pretty cool. Polycarbonate body shell. Just like mini four-wheel drive cars, the ones that have the polycarbonate shells. Same material. And the body comes pre-painted, so you don't have to do much to get it prepared for racing. You basically take it out of the box, put the battery in, clip the body shell onto it. Low battery. Yeah, you get about half an hour worth of fun. That's about it. And I think depending on how rough the terrain is, that also affects your battery power. Very similar to mini four-wheel drive, in which you've got more challenging tracks with bumps and hills and stuff. It's going to run your battery power out faster.
I didn't do that.
You did.
No, I didn't.
That's all right. How did you get stuck like that?
Wait a minute.
Yes, we're doing RC cars. So somebody commented that, yes, Tamiya Queen is doing RC cars now. Yes, we are. We're just having a little bit of fun here as a side kind of thing. Pretty cool. I recently got my sons this car, and that was for them being so helpful with the mini four-wheel drive races. We're basically at AAA Hobbies, helping out with the races, volunteering our time to get everything set up properly, and yeah, basically managing the races, because you need a lot of additional help with every race. It's not just, these races don't quite run themselves, right? You definitely need a large group of very, very able volunteers who actually want to help. And that's what helps improve the quality of the mini four-wheel drive experience. With RC cars, you could basically be alone racing your RC car. However, it's done, yeah. It's got about how many minutes of battery power, battery life?
An hour?
Half an hour, but it's also dependent on like how rough the terrain is, like what you're driving over. Because if you drove on completely flat surface with no hills, you'd probably get your full half hour. But driving over this rough terrain and the rocks and stuff, you probably get a little less than half an hour. There we go. This is what your RC car looks like. This is when the battery is drained. This is how fast it will go. And then it comes to a complete stop eventually. Yes. Until we get more. I'm sure if you just, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, there you go. It's still running. It's just not very powerful. Not a lot of torque there. But I'm sure if you turn it off and let it kind of rejuice a little bit, it'll probably run a little bit more. But yeah, not that much more. So how long does it take to charge up these batteries, Matthew?
About the same time that it runs.
So half an hour to charge up the batteries?
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. So yes, the best advice is get more than one battery. That way you'll have enough battery power to have fun for the full hour. Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah, and this is the controller for it. So this ready-to-run system comes with this controller. Yeah. A little steering wheel on the side, yes. And batteries, AA batteries. It runs on AA batteries, and then there's a rechargeable battery inside there. And you just plug it into the wall. There's a sequence that you have to follow when you're charging these batteries. You have to plug the charger into the wall first, and the battery gets plugged in last. And then inside this Rustler, remember this is the rear-wheel drive one, so it's a little different than the all-wheel drive one. So here we have the battery, it's like smack in the center, and I think the other one is not smack in the center. I don't know, I saw somebody else's all-wheel drive one and the battery was kind of off to one side.
Hot.
Oh yeah, it was very, very warm to the touch. So there we go, pretty cool. And here it is. There's a lot of junk that gets collected inside there. Yeah, and pretty cool. We have to empty it all out. Suspension. Oh yeah. So this is one of the things that kind of drew us to an RC car like this, an off-road RC car. The fact that the suspension is so bouncy, like I've never experienced anything like this before, because I don't have much experience with this, but look, you just drop it and it just lands flat. It's so beautiful. And this is how, if you were to build a mini four-wheel drive car that lands on a hard surface, you should try to get it to basically absorb all of its, like, prevent bounce by having a good suspension. And that's why the MS chassis with the springs inside is a good substitute for like an actual real chassis, like a suspension chassis. So some of the other cars, you can't really add springs in them as easily as an MS suspension chassis. There are some people that have made a suspension chassis for MA cars, MA chassis cars, and mini four-wheel drive, with varying success. And others have tried to simulate suspensions by adding spring things here and there on their various chassis cars, but you will never get the same effect as having the springs inside the unit itself, like in an MS chassis on mini four-wheel drive. But here with the RC car world, we have basically automatically, you've got these springs right here, and you can replace everything on this car and make the car more race-worthy. So instead of those white springs that you just saw, you can replace them with other types of springs. I think they come in different colors actually, and the different colors represent the different tensions of the springs. So you could upgrade your car. There is reports of one person who upgraded his Rustler where it ended up costing him almost $1,000 worth of upgrades. And yes, just for like superb performance. So this one right out of the box is still pretty good, right? For about $230 or so, plus $60 for the treaded tires, you can get a pretty good vehicle here. It's not going to run super well over like crazy terrain, but it's still pretty good. It's still pretty fun. And they have an all-wheel drive version for a little bit more money that will run on all of these weird surfaces here. So yeah, pretty fun, pretty cool. Yes. So everybody, if you like this video, please slam the like button, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time, everybody, see you. Bye.